Hi everybody, this is Laura with KNNA News and Laura and the Party Animals, and today we have Ghost, and Ghost is a ball python. These guys are originally from Africa. See there? See his face? Let me see if I can show you his face here. Anyway, he's a boy. He's been with me since he was real little. Okay, so in today's World War III update news, earlier this week, the red phone, which is the hotline or the direct communication between Washington and Moscow, is supposedly no longer in use. Bad idea, really bad idea. Also, President Putin has said that he will only speak to President Trump. He will not speak regarding negotiations to any of our current government, which should be telling you right there, like, that things are going to get bad until Trump can take office. So, just this week, the U.S. has evacuated our embassies out of Ukraine as they have received information of a potential air attack by Russia. So yeah, this is not good, as I put in the video yesterday that I released. For the first time ever in history, listen to what I'm saying, first time ever in history, an ICBM or possibly an IRBM has been used in Ukraine. Now, this missile, let me just read more to it. Okay, now, this is what Ukraine says. Supposedly, there is an unnamed Western source reporting that no, this wasn't the ICBM, that this was a smaller missile used, but still, none of these missiles have ever been used, regardless of which one it is, at least in like this war, okay? This first time. So what has happened is this would have triggered NATO's early warning nuclear detection system. We know it would. Everybody knows that this would have triggered this detection system by NATO. But guess what? The mainstream media is failing to tell the public about it. They're failing to tell you and me about it. So it's people like me and your you know, I don't know what you want to call them, your self-claimed journalist, your independent journalist. This is where you're going to find this stuff out, because the mainstream media doesn't want you to know. They want to hide it all from you as though you're like children. So anyway, this has happened. Now, this system, huge, people, go look it up. I don't know what else to say other than it's huge. This missile is unbelievably powerful. Anyway, so a little while back, Russia goes, or Putin goes and announces, why is the UK bothering anybody? Why are they bothering them? And Putin goes, and I've got the snake trying to get away from me. Putin goes and threatens to sink the UK if the UK continued involvement, or it threatened Russia to where Russia really, felt like, hey, it's seriously being threatened. We have to do something, about it. If Putin feels like he's in a corner, so they could sink the UK by two different ways. One is their let me see where the wording is. So one is their Poseidon system, or this is an underwater unmanned drone or vehicle. And it puts out a torpedo, which can have a nuclear tip, I guess that's what you want to call it, of like 100 megatons. Like, that is a massive bomb. A massive, massive bomb. Let me make sure. Okay, so let me read this directly to you. A warhead of 100 megatons. And this would cause a giant tsunami of 500 meters. Now, 500 meters is 5.5 football fields tall. Okay? So they would, this torpedo would hit somewhere along the, such a distance far, away from the coast. And then at that point, it would cause the tsunamis, which could sink the UK. It's a bad situation, people. Really, really bad. And they have another system that is it's called a, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Sarmat rocket, which could also just cause such devastation, and it could sink the UK. So why is the UK allowing Ukraine right now to use their stop it, Ghost. their missiles? Like, so here we go. Okay, so the UK is allowing Ukraine to use their Storm Shadow missiles inside of Russia. If the UK can't defend itself, well, who's going to have to defend it? Is this starting to make sense to you guys now? Because it is to me. So why are they poking the bear? Why are any of us poking the bear? This shouldn't be happening, and all this is being done. So this World War III is put in Trump's lap. Okay, this is such a political revenge. It's unbelievable. So instead of just throwing the tantrums on the internet, if you go look it up, the people throwing the tantrums about the election. No, our government, they're like supposedly gracefully, stepped back and admitted Trump, won the election by a landslide. But no, their tantrums are now putting you and me, our families, our friends, our animals in our country at risk. They are playing Russian roulette, no pun intended, with our lives in our country against one of the biggest nuclear power countries in the world. And this is what they're doing. And so Ukraine still has $6 billion already authorized and not used before Trump takes office. What do you think they're going to do with that money, huh? Do you think possibly they're just going to continue everything they possibly can? And I get it's their survival. I mean, but I get this is their country. It's a horrible situation they're in. I think it is horrible situation. It really is. Russia shouldn't be doing this, but we shouldn't have to suffer because of the other countries' disputes. Now, in other news, the international courts have put out a warrant for Netanyahu and the former General Gallant for violation with war crimes and so forth like that. So yeah, the official warrant has just gone out. But the U.S. is being used, and we're being used to fight a holy war that is not ours. And we're risking our big alliances. We're risking Jordan. We're risking Turkey. We do not want to lose the Turkey ally. That can't happen. Okay? We're at risk of losing Egypt. And Saudi Arabia just came out and said that if Israel attacks Iran, they will consider it genocide. Now, this puts us in a position of losing them. We can't have this happen. And why are we funding this? because none of us average Americans want to fund this. I actually put it in a statement to the government regarding my taxes. It said, I do not want any of my money being used for weapons. Don't want it. I don't want to be guilty of this. You know, I can't do anything as one person on where this money is spent. But as a group, as united American citizens, look what we pulled with the election. We, as a group, can stop these wars. We can say no. But it's going to take a lot of us, folks. We can't have this happen. We shouldn't be involved in any of this. It's not our problem. Our biggest threat, the American threat, the real threat, is the cartels. It is our border, people. You know, the media is deceiving you, and they've got your attention all on these other wars, while our main threat is walking right across our borders into our homeland. Listen, into our homeland with weapons, with God knows what, with drugs that are killing our people, killing our American civilians, our citizens. And everybody's turning a blind eye because the media wants them to be distracted to Israel or Ukraine and wants all the money to go to that. We shouldn't have anything to do with that. I don't know. I will try to convince y'all every single day I got time to try to convince y'all. Let's see if I have anything else here. Oh yeah, the last thing. So Kennedy has just come out and said the World Economic Forum, which I wasn't quite sure who did this, but they were actually responsible for throwing the mandates on us, and all the stuff that they did in COVID. Now, this is that billionaire boys club, right? Well, now they're going to use a climate crisis to now pull, what do I want to call it? How do I want to say this? I want to use right words. I don't like that word either. Anyway, they're going to try to pull mandates. I guess mandates is going to be the best word for here. They're going to, almost like a martial law, but they're going to use the climate crisis as a form of what was almost martial law. Not quite martial law, but what they did in COVID. But they'll figure out different ways to do this because those mandates won't work right now. So now they're going to find out and figure out ways to do this. And RFK Jr. has just come forward, you know, with this information. He's also going to get the poisons out of our food. And I'm like, as I'm reading all this, I'm like, how come these poisons are in American food and they're all banned in Europe? Why is that? Because the people in power and control want more money and more power and more control at our expense, at the average American's expense. And they will do anything to obtain it, including these wars that are facing us now. But just as the election showed, together, united, we stand, and united, we have a voice. So think about that. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you later. And Ghost will see you later as well. Say bye. See you later.